That's what it is. Oh, how would you press it? Oh, man alive. Is there a lot to talk about? First, just deal with my computer because I want to get ready for all the stuff that I want to do this evening. And this should help a little bit with countering some of the issues of my phone. So I'll leave this for a couple of minutes to let people come in. And then we'll get this party started, as it were. But man alive, there is a hell of a lot to talk about. What else was I trying to do? I remember I need to switch accounts because I'm currently on my gaming channel right now. And I hope everyone's doing well, most importantly. But you'll forgive me for this because I need to bring up something as it is extremely important, as it actually involves another MP who we will get into contact, who will get into later down the line. Where is it? I swear to God I had it somewhere. It was from Reasoned, I believe. Hello there, Aofi. I hope you're doing all right. Where the fuck is it? Right, I'll have to search it up manually. Reasoned. But I'll give this like 30 or so seconds, and then I said we'll start. Here it is. Gotcha, you little bastard. So, it was Ivor, not Ivan. But we'll get into that very shortly. I will get rid of this first and foremost. What is on birthday? Well, happy birthday to you. Appreciate it. Ether. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Let's start with the monthly TV licensing letter. Am I really surprised that I've got one of these things? What I find funny, actually, I don't know if you can read this. I know it's going to be reversed, but you can see in the top there, 31st of December, 2024. So it's literally taken them 2 fucking weeks to post this shit. But let's read this out, because just for shits and giggles, before I chuck the fucking thing away. Dear legal occupier, this is an official warning that we are carrying out an investigation of your address. We have asked you to contact us several times, but you have not responded. Yeah, I wonder why, because I don't need to. There is still no record of a TV license at this property. The law, it's a criminal offence to watch, record live TV without a license on a device. Like I give a shit. This includes all TV channels, paid stroke number 1, off to a good start. Pay TV services like Sky and live TV on streaming services like Amazon Prime Video. You also need a TV license to be covered for everything on BBC iPlayer. And as I've said before many times, I'll just go into it briefly. You don't owe these guys any fucking thing. You don't owe them any response whatsoever. They're as welcome as a fart in a car, quite frankly. And they can say all they want. They've opened an investigation. Here's basically a scenario of an investigation. They come to your door, open the door, and they say, you then say, hello, who are you? I'm from TV licensing. Bam. Close the door. Investigation closed. They can't do anything. Period. Now, let me be clear. I'm not asking or condoning anybody breaking the law. If you are watching, recording live TV on any device or watching stuff on BBC iPlayer, you need a TV license. But as far as these things are concerned, other than that, not even worth the paper it's fucking written on. Don't worry, I'll clean that up later. Anyway, on to the main subjects I want to talk about. So, now we understand exactly why the Labour Party, or should they be called the Nonce Party, don't want a grooming gang inquiry. Because it turns out 53 MPs, 54 if you count the one on the Reason channel, which as soon as the live stream's over, I will link it in the description below. In fact, I might actually be able to do that now, actually, now that I think of it. Let's see if this actually works. Bear with me, and I will post that in for you. But basically, 53 MPs and this new one, Ivor Kaplan or something like that. But Ivor has basically been found out by PDF file hunters, and they found out he was allegedly, stress this because we don't know if it's actually the case yet, allegedly he was trying to meet up with an underage boy. Now, I suspect, because it's the Labour Party, or maybe I was right first time, I suspect because it's them, or you could even call them the Nonce Party. Guess where that's going? Under the fucking rug, quite frankly. Just like how they don't want to let us know about the 53 MPs that have been caught on SX crimes, if you catch my drift, who have been responsible in some cases for manufacturing CP, RPING women, and obviously trying to solicit activities with a minor. I don't think I need to say how massive that is. 53 MPs. This is not some odd Tom, Dick and Harry who's basically a bad apple in the party. This is 53 MPs. And I believe Gobster Talk Shite was the one who posted this originally, but Elon Musk has gone ahead and posted on X the whole list of people who are guilty of these crimes. 53. I cannot stress enough. 53. Obviously, one is too many, quite frankly. But to know that your party has 53 convicted nonces serving as members of the Houses of Treachery. Parliament. Or again, maybe I was right first time. It is sickening. I don't even have words that can remotely describe how bad it is. Labour have to go. Like, if they were bad before Rachel Reeves, or Keir the Traitor Starmer, or David the Archbishop of Racism Lammy, or Micah Salty Amesbury, or Ricky Cutthroat Jones, how bad do you think this makes them look? I'll tell you right now, as soon as the case regarding Axel the child murderer Radaka comes out, between that, the G Gangs inquiry, these MPs who have been either convicted or are known to be S offenders, the nonce party's gone. They're cooked. They will be forced to disband. Their party will be gone. Just like that. They will not be able to stand for this. They will not be able to continue as a party and save face. You can argue that the Tories were bad. And hell, they will get their comeuppance. Don't worry about that shit. Anybody who's worried I'm too focused on the nonce party. Sorry, Labour Party. Don't you worry. They'll get their comeuppance. I'm sure there'll be an inquiry on them, quite frankly. But the bottom line is, as far as the Labour Party is concerned, having that many people in your own, not in constituency, in your own damn party that are basically known as predators or are offenders, rapists, basically. How do you think that's going to go down? Now it's no wonder they didn't want that G-Gang inquiry going forward, because all the fucking skeletons would be coming out of the closet. All of them. Thanks for the compliment as well. I appreciate that, Eve Air, or however to pronounce it. I appreciate that. They just won't be able to stand. bottom line on that. But one thing I also want to talk about as well, alongside all this, of all people, Andrew Tate. I may have already covered him in the past, for all I know, but it turns out that Andrew Tate, the Muslim convert, who has definitely got a lot of fire in him, he's definitely a very hot topic, he apparently made a speech that he wants to become UK Prime Minister. And I must admit, when I looked at that, I was like, really? You want to try that? Because let me tell you something. Unless this guy is going to fundamentally denounce Sunni Islam in every form, and by that I mean how Islamic scumbags call us the kafar, how they say they should kill the unbelievers, how they believe women should be treated as second-class citizens, which I believe was some misogynistic views with Andrew Tate. And then, of course, the stoning to death of people or women who commit adultery, or gays that like to get a little bit, if you catch my drift. Unless he denounces all of that shit, nah, he ain't getting in. Hello, Ted. Hope everyone is doing well here at any rate. So, to recap for those who have just come in, basically 53 MPs of the Traitor Party, they are basically guilty of the same kinds of crimes as some of these G gangs or S offences or whatever you want to call it. Far as Andrew Tate is concerned, I truly hope to God he is not going to stand for MP. We do not want an Islamic person in power. I mean, we've already got fucking what's-his-face, Sadiq Khan, who's serving as London mayor, and he's about as much success as my recent attempts to lose weight, quite frankly. That man has no legitimacy in power, and as I've said before, and we'll say it again, Sadiq Khan is not worthy of the title Sir. The only title I would give Sadiq Khan is terrorist sympathiser, traitor, wanker, just to name a few. Covering up, stroke number 2, covering up cover-ups. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Paranormal. Damn it, you caused me to have a stroke. But no, jokes aside, it is very, very, very bad news for the nonce party. Sorry, Labour Party. No, sorry, I am just going to keep calling them the nonce party, because let's face it, that's basically what they are now. They cover for the groomers, they now cover for this. That's the way I look at it. Something else going on? Maybe. Can't say for sure. That would probably be coming down as a conspiracy thingy. But I'm not going to call anyone that here, because I don't judge people here. Unlike the mainstream media, who are all too quick to throw out the name tag like the fucking frisbees. Or like tags you put on those clothes. That's the way I look at it. But as far as Andrew Tate is concerned, we don't want him. I have no desire to let this man run as Prime Minister. He's got as much chance of being our Prime Minister as I have of winning the next decathlon. And he's, quite frankly, as fitting for that role as I am for the role of ballerina. God, don't believe me for that shit? Hell, if I jump, I literally cause a 2.4 earthquake here in Norwich. I'm not going to demonstrate, though, because obviously I want to keep my setup intact. But as far as Tate's concerned, we should never allow religion in power. Ever. Look what's happened when we've now had a Muslim Council of Britain. Nearly had another one there. Look what we've got with Sadiq Khan. Look how it all went, except I think Rishi the Slippery Sunak was Hindu, I believe. But look what we got with Rishi. Whenever religion is involved, whenever, I would not look good to fuck off. I would not look good to tutu. No, 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 no. That is not an image we would like to see. I would get arrested for indecent exposure, quite frankly. I wish I could arrest the MPs at Melbourne, but the way I look at it, I don't have that power. Maybe I should sign up to be a police officer. Or is it a policeman? Because after all, I don't like conforming to those woke tardery nonsense genderizing DEI bollocks that they like to put out. And hello, Antonia. Stroke number 3, Antonella. Oh my God, one of you has caused me to have a stroke. My God. Oh man, alive. I am in so much trouble. But then you have to laugh, because otherwise you cry. And we need some positivity here in the UK. As far as Ant Middleton is concerned, actually, someone brought it up. I know it's not going to be the video I post later, but as far as Ant is concerned, who used to be an SAS guy, I do like the guy, to be honest. He definitely strikes me as someone who has got the balls, whether up here or down there, of course, in my case, both, to actually say what needs to be said. Now, I have actually got my YouTube up for a moment. I don't know why I didn't go onto it for the longest time, but bear with me and I'll get that shit in there. Please give that link that I've in there a watch. It's from Reasoned, and basically, what's his face? Ivor Kevlan, is it? It's either something or other. Yeah, Ivor Kaplan. He basically got found out by PDF file hunters that essentially he was allegedly going to meet an underage child. So, yeah. Let's not go down that path, Dad. Let's keep it, well, no, PG-18, but let's keep it safe, frankly. But the way I look at things is, as said, we shouldn't have religion in power. We should not have this nonce party continue to exist, the way I look at it. Because at this point, they are not fit for purpose. Not fit for purpose at all. BBC, well, we all know what their crimes are. Numerous. I mean, Hugh Degenerate Edwards, Jimmy Tiny Cockosaurus Rex Saville, just to name a couple. But I digress. There's another thing I want to point out, which, again, I haven't put in the other video. Channel 4. Dan Wood put out this point, actually. It's in regards to a documentary that Channel 4 were trying to put out. I will see if I can find that for you now. Bear with me. Where are you? There it is. So he put out a post, if I can find it. Yeah, Accused, the fake grooming scandal. Channel 4 is going, well, they already went ahead and put some of the episodes out. It's disgusting. The fact that they are doing everything they can to discredit this, to cover this up, is astounding. Abso-fucking-lutely astounding. How can they have any fucking decency whatsoever to do that shit? They can't. They have not got any fucking moral fibre in them. They've got about as much fibre as a bowl of fruit punch. They are all in it together. David the Conman Cameron said that. And this strikes oh so fucking true with everything we're seeing right now. And even worse, with Keir the traitor Starmer trying to get us to rejoin the EU. Notice how our economy is collapsing. Notice how everything's been going to shit. But not because of the pound, but because the government is taxing us to hell and back. The secret grocery tax they didn't want to tell us about as well. How many strokes so far? 3. So, on average, that is a stroke 39 strokes across 13 days. That is exactly 3 strokes a day. Fuck me. But I digress. It's so... Oh, dear. But the way I slice it, McGregor. I don't know who you are about. But anyway, this... It's all... I think you're right in that it's all connected, all this. How can they have the audacity to have 53 MPs? I think I'm actually read the fucking list out, quite frankly, because I think it needs to be done. So let me just go on XCOM, or sorry, X.com. There'll be a time for me to do that shit, but not right now. I'll be doing that Thursday when I live stream on Twitch. Anyway, there is Elon Musk. Elon, where are you? Where are you, you little bastard? Oh, for fuck's sake, I can't find it now. Damn it. Oh, here we go. It was actually originally put out by, is that down at Plymouth? Yeah, down at Plymouth. So, all the Labour MPs and the crimes that they are guilty of. Brian Gate, Labour councillor, school governor for child welfare, caught downloading EP. Number 2, Graham Pearson, Labour Lord Mayor school teacher and nursery school governor, caught with CP images. Number 3, Richard Harris, Labour councillor Canada and school governor, arrested for offering children money for S. Number Ben Williams, Labour councillor and school teacher, arrested over CP internet searches. Number 5, Paul Diggott, Labour Party councillor Canada, school governor, caught downloading CP. Number 6, Cyril Smith was a Labour councillor and teacher at Cambridge House Boys Home in Rochdale. Before he joined Liberals, he was a Labour councillor. Depraved SAs acts upon little boys. Number 7, Timothy Edmeades, Labour Party organiser, Lord Mayor assistant, school teacher helper, scout leader, child R. Number 8, John Friery, Labour councillor and school governor, guilty of G'ing a child for S. Sorry, I need a moment. Number 9, Keith Rogers, Labour Party councillor and school governor, making 2,000 child R images. Number 10, Alec Dyer Atkins, Labour councillor and school governor for 2 years, for 42,000 images of child abuse. Number 11, Adrian Circuit, Labour councillor and school governor, 3 years community order for CP. Steve Carnell, Labour councillor and school governor, found guilty of CP. Greg Vincent is number 13, Labour council school governor, guilty of CP. 14, Nelson Bland, Labour councillor and school teacher, guilty of making CP images. Number 15, Keith Potts, Labour Party councillor and school governor. Sorry, I've lost my thing. Councillor, guilty of making CP images. 16, John Johnson, Labour Party, guilty of downloading CP. Number 17. No, I suspect. But anyway, number 17, Spanish sued Labour and Canada, offering school children money for S. Number 18, Mark Tan, Labour Party activist who knew Blair's hard 2 little girls. Number 19, Peter Tuffley, Labour Party advisor to Hazel Blears, kidnapped a child for S. Number 20, Mark Trotter, Labour activist for 2 Labour councils, hard children whilst diagnosed with AIDS. Fucking disgusting. 21, Ian Rankin, Labour councillor Canada, guilty of making horrific CP movies. 22, Tim Russo, Labour Party advisor, is a convicted paedophile child abuser. 23, Philip Lyon, Labour Party advisor and aide to Tony Blair, was caught making CP. 24, Willie Smith. How fitting. Anyway, Labour Council leader arrested over CP. 25, Samuel Gamlin. Labour Party spin doctor making CP and accessing CP websites. 26, Yusuf Assad. Labour representative for London Mayor Ken Livingstone on the GLA arrested on CP charges. 27, Darren Pedley. Labour councillor and school teacher arrested by police on CP charges. 28, Susan Smith. I think that's the first woman on this list. Labour councillor Lambeth, 18 months in prison for R-ing a minor in her transvestite lover's flat. 29, Sam Chowdhury. Labour Lord Mayor sent to prison for multiple R of children as young as 5 years old. 30, Nicholas Green. Labour Lord Mayor, 10 years prison for R&M station of 3 children aged 6 to 10 years old. 31, Alan Prescott. Labour councillor, 2 years prison for emsting children in his care. 32, Gilbert Ben. Labour councillor, 5 years prison for emsting an 11-year-old male child. 33, and I might butcher this name a little bit, Iestin Tudor Davis. Labour councillor, 7 years in prison for R-ing a 9-year-old girl in South Wales. 34, Les Shepherd. Labour councillor for 10 years for emsting 3 children in County Durham. 35, Martin Loughlin. Labour councillor, 12 years prison for 8 counts of R and SA on 3 young boys. Assault, by the way. 36, David Spooner. Well, I already know what crime he's guilty of. No, sorry. Anyway, David Spooner, Labour councillor, 12 months prison for indecency in front of 2 children. 37, Red Rupp. Labour councillor, 4 months prison for using a spy camera to film a child on the toilet in his flat. 38, Mark Burton. Labour councillor guilty of emsting a child at a party, also caught with CP. 39, Liam Temple. Labour Lord Mayor guilty of inciting a child into his home into an act of gross indecency. 40, we're getting near the end, folks. Stuart Brown, Labour Lord Mayor, guilty of distributing sickening images of child abuse over the internet. 41, Torrance Smith. Labour Party councillor guilty of over, and this is the most I've seen so far, 90,000 images of children being R-ed. 42, Joseph Shaw. Labour councillor caught with child abuse images. 43, Jonathan Phillips. Labour councillor found guilty of CP found on his memory stick. 44, Lee Benson. Labour Party councillor found guilty of CP images found on his computer. 45, Raymond Coates. Labour County councillor, nearly another stroke there. Raymond Coates arrested for multiple child R along with his son. 46, Graham White. Labour Party councillor guilty of filming a child doing S acts. 47, John Murray. Labour Lord Mayor essay on a child. 48, Labour Party councillor anomaly and schoolgirl arrested for CP and child G-ing. 49, Peter McLaughlin. Labour Party chairman of Stanley Town Council admitting R-ing a male child. 50, Terry Power. Labour Party councillor in Dagenham arrested and charged with R-ing homeless children. Homeless children. 51. Malcolm Ford, Labour councillor and teacher of Skelmersdale, West Lancashire District Council, received 15 years in prison for child R. And 52. Andrew Palmer. I thought it was 53. My mistake. It's 52. Although you could technically count Ivor Kaplan as 53. But anyway, 52, the last one on here. Andrew Palmer, Labour Party election agent, serving his third prison term for multiple counts of paedophilia. "52 names I've read out. 52 people named and shamed live on stream for their disgusting, depraved acts on children. What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear what some of you have to say on this. Not in the sense of you're guilty, but your general thought. You know what I mean, basically. No words, only actions. Yeah. Like, the way I slice this, those 52 names and the crimes they committed, homeless children, child abuse, just to name a couple, one person R-ing children whilst diagnosed with AIDS. My thoughts exactly, Antonella. I'm not surprised at this shit, but I'm still sickened by it nonetheless. Like, it's going to leave me with a bad taste in my stomach, quite frankly, and my mouth, sorry. Who said I've got two mouths? Shut up. Anyway, it leaves a really bad taste in me. I suppose, in a sense, that might be good for my weight loss. Maybe I should just think about this more often, and then I'm like, and fucking puke up my guts and all that shit. I'd lose 10 stone in no time. Oh, dear. But jokes aside, this indubitably is a huge fucking stake in the heart of the vampire, the way I look at it. It is a huge stake, bam, through the heart of Keir the Traitor Starmer and his traitor party, his nonce party, quite frankly. At this point, if this does not highlight the systemic abuse of children, nothing ever will. I agree, Sue. I was about to say that next, actually. I feel for those poor souls. The amount of abuse they must have gone through, I can't even begin to measure. I can't even begin to think what those kids have gone through, quite frankly. But here, the mainstream media is on about, oh, Trump is about to go fucking grab Greenland because he needs more oil and power. Or is Elon Musk a threat to our democracy and all that shit? Like, no, focus on the more important thing. It's ironic because what do we get a lot from the left-wing media? We hear, think of the children, save the children. Don't you want to see the children safe and sound? What, in your fucking houses? This is what I think. Not to the children, of course, let me be clear. I want them to be safe. All of us want children to be safe, quite frankly. But I don't think safe involves being with nonces in the traitor party or nonce party, the way I look at it. I think at this point, we need a revolution, indubitably. I do want it to be peaceful, believe you me. I want this to be peaceful. But the cold, bitter truth is if this comes out and the ordinary public hear about this, this will fucking erupt. Just like that. They're going to look at that, and the one thing that history has taught us is that The people, no matter what country, whether it's Britain, whether it's France, whether it's the US, whether it's fucking the United Arab Emirates, nobody likes to see children get harmed. Nobody likes seeing men or women prey on the most vulnerable people in the world. That's the way I look at it. Change the name, change the whole history. I guess that could be what they're doing in a sense. We do need to put a stop to it effectively. If I was actually PM right now, I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd make it so anybody caught messing around with kids, guillotine, quite frankly, or bare minimum, snip, snip. That's the way I look at it. You can't be allowed to get away with a slap on the wrist for the most indecent thing you could possibly do. That's the way I look at it. The death penalty needs to be brought back. Of course, we need to make sure that people are given a fair trial, because we don't obviously want to send someone to the gallows or to the guillotine or whatever who potentially could be innocent, because that has happened before. Not very often, but it has happened before where innocent people have lost their lives. And to play devil's advocate, I don't want to see innocent people lose their lives. But I tell you what I don't want even more. I don't want nonsense like that getting away with the most disgusting crimes. We do not need the spawn of Satan themselves walking the streets as if they're the men and women in charge. We need action. And the fact that this has come out now, I hope there's a few MPs who have the balls, whether up here or down there, or in my case both, to call Keir the traitor Starmer out on this. How many more MPs are guilty of these sickening crimes? With these PDF hunters actually finding another one, it really does beg the question. How many more? 10? 50? 500? How many more? How many more of these sick, disgusting pieces of shit, vermin, scum, are hiding in their seats of power? How many? We need to take out the trash, metaphorically speaking. We need to take out the trash like you would not believe. And I think if things don't change in the next couple of months, I do honestly think that we're heading towards a violent revolution. That's the way I look at it. How many people do you think are going to want to let our government get away with the systemic abuse of children? Who? Anybody who isn't pissed off or frustrated at bare minimum with the amount of this that we're seeing needs to get themselves checked out from the neck up. Because I'll tell you one thing, I'm not a massive fan of children. I'm not exactly sitting here saying, oh, I love children. Obviously in the want to love them as in love and cherish, not their kind of love. I'm not exactly that kind of person. But I fully understand how and why people would feel the way they would as far as protecting the kids. And as said, and let me be clear, I do not want a violent revolution. I am the last person who wants to see a violent revolution on the streets. But how many people are going to sit down and shut up for the sakes of diversity on this one? Ask yourselves that. And I know Paul Thorpe will say, we must do everything peacefully. Richard Inman will say, we must do everything peacefully. I know they'll say that. Hell, I'd probably say even Tommy Robinson will say that. But here's the thing. How long will it take to get peace? How long will it take for a peaceful resolution to take place? Especially with a man who is akin to Hitler, quite frankly, such as Keir the Traitor Starmer, Hitler 2.0, in my humble opinion. You cannot reason with people like that. We tried it with Hitler. He invaded Poland anyway, and we got 6 years of war. Keir the Traitor Starmer, clearly trying to protect his own, clearly trying to ensure that there is no inquiry and no justice for the girls. How do you justify that? How do you go after someone like that? Frankly, I don't think we're going to get a peaceful resolution. That's the cold, bitter truth. And as I've said before, and I will say it here again, if Paul Thorpe wants to debate whether or not I'm wrong as far as getting a peaceful or a violent revolution is concerned, I'm happy to have that conversation. I'm very happy to have that conversation. Because at the end of the day, we need to do what's right for this country. Sometimes you do have to get your hands a little dirty. Sometimes you have to go down a dark path. But as long as it leads you back towards the light, as long as it gets the country in a proper, fixed state, or a state where at least it can regenerate, that's the way I look at it. And I don't think we've got enough time for a peaceful resolution, quite frankly. I think at this point, it is going to end up erupting, whether we like it or not. I really, really, really don't want it to be a violent revolution. I really don't. But how many people are going to put up with the kids being persecuted like this? Abused like this? I don't want to go down that dark path on my own. I don't want to go down that path, period. The way I slice it, I'd rather this be peaceful. But I'm just worried. Because unlike a lot of people, I will do everything I can to restrain myself from heading down there. But I think there are people who are much less capable of holding their tongue, holding their temper, and holding their nerve, that will lose their shit, that will lose their marbles, and they will want blood. And I will not be held responsible for that shit. I will not be held responsible, and I will never advocate for anybody who goes down that path. I will understand why they do it, but I'll never sympathize with them. But Keir the Traitor Starmer, the bottom line is that party is finished. That party is completely cooked. There is no way he is going to be able to stay in power now. The whole of it needs to go. Period. No half measures, no sugarcoating thing. The whole of it needs to be annihilated. They must never be allowed back in power ever again. We must remind them every single time if they try to resurface as a party, we slap back down. We must make sure that those people are never elected again. We will not forgive this. We will not forget this. Each and every one of us here today, each and every one of us who supports Tommy Robinson, Richard Inman, Maya Toosey, Paul just to name a few, all of us never forgive or forget those 52 names I've read out. We will never forgive the crimes of that nonce party. We will be there to hold them to account every single time. Thank you for watching, guys. 45 minutes, Christ almighty. I am getting too old for this. Shut up. Anyway, I'm going to head off now because I've got to get some food in me. I am starving right now. And yeah, just to sum it up for those who are just coming in or wondering what's going on, basically 52 MPs plus one with Ivor Kaplan being exposed by the PDF hunters. Basically responsible for, well, the 53rd one, Ivor Kaplan, is allegedly, let me be clear on that first. But the other 52, they have been convicted of S acts, R, G gang offences, all that shit, as far as children are concerned. It's disgusting what's happened. And I don't think Labour's going to recover from this. Sorry, Nonce is going to recover from this one. Or yet again, maybe I was right first time. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Hopefully, there is a light at the end of that tunnel. And hopefully it's not the lamp of an oncoming train. But we need to do everything we can to get justice for those girls and justice against the traitor party.